Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgets and today we are going to do a quick benchmark review comparison of the Moto E and the Micromax Unite 2, which is the recently launched phone. And both of these phones are a competitor to each other. Both of them are available in the Indian market for a price of 6,999. So Moto E is already being selling online through Flipkart, and that is the only way where you can actually buy this phone. So you can only buy this phone from Flipkart online, you cannot buy it from a retail shop. Whereas the Micromax Unite 2 is going to be available by tomorrow or within the next 2 days on the retail shops across all India. So you will get to buy this phone from any retail outlet which sells Micromax phones, and you can buy it at the same price at which you can buy Moto E. Considering these two phones, they are very much close to each other in terms of hardware specifications as well. Although they are based on different chipset, this one is running on Snapdragon 200 chipset 1.2 GHz dual core, whereas this is a quad core CPU 1.3 GHz MediaTek 6582 chipset it is. You have 1 GB of RAM on both of these phones. You have 4 GB of internal on both of these phones, 4 GB of internal memory on both of these phones. You have approximately 2.21 GB available on this device as far as internal storage is concerned, whereas on this device you have approximately 1.67 GB available to the user from the internal storage. But on this device you have the option of expanding the storage with the SD card. You have that option over here as well. But one more thing which you have on this device, on the Unite 2, the Micromax Unite 2, is that you can actually install applications on the SD card directly, which you cannot do on this one. So these are the things as far as hardware specifications and what all differences are there in between these two. One more thing I would like to highlight before I go ahead with the benchmark comparison review is that this device has got a 5 megapixel camera, which is a fixed focus camera over here at the back. There is no front facing camera on this device, whereas on the Micromax Unite 2 you have a front facing camera which is a fixed focus camera. And when it comes to the rear camera is definitely better on this one. It is a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash and autofocus support as well, and it can also record high definition videos at 720p. So again, this camera is definitely better in terms of the comparison as far as camera is concerned in between these two devices. So in this review we are going to compare these two devices on the basis of benchmark, what kind of day-to-day performance they have, what kind of graphics they have, and how much touch points they actually support when it comes to multi-touch, and all other things which are related to benchmark. So first of all, we will start with the hardware configuration and we will compare them one by one. So taking a look over the hardware configuration, if we take a look over here, this device is called, the model number is XT01022, and it has got ARM-V7 processor, as you can see, clocked at 1.2 GHz approximately, and it is a dual core CPU. It is Qualcomm MSM8610, whereas on this device we have the CPU which is ARM-V7 processor again, and we have 1.3 GHz over here. It is a quad core CPU. It is MediaTek 6582 chipset, as we told you. When it comes to the display resolution, here is a difference. The display resolution is slightly higher on the Moto E, which is 540 into 960, and again some part of the screen resolution is being taken up by these touch capacitive buttons. So the effective display resolution is 540 into 888, not 960. When it comes to GPU, you have Adreno 305 GPU on this device, and on this device we have Mali 400 MP GPU. So again, the GPU is pretty good on both of these devices. You can play them, you can actually play different kind of graphic intensive games on both of these devices. When it comes to sensors, you have slightly larger number of sensors on the Unite 2, Micromax Unite 2, which includes accelerometer, proximity sensor, light sensor, orientation, and a magnetometer sensor as well. Whereas on this device we have an accelerometer, light sensor, proximity sensor. So you do have proximity and ambient light sensor on both of these phones as far as front is concerned, and accelerometer sensor is also there on both of these phones. But you do have two additional sensors on the Micromax Unite 2, which is the orientation sensor and a magnetic field sensor which you have on this device. So let's first of all take a look over the benchmark score which we will get on quadrant standard for both of these devices. Taking a look over the scores which we have got for quadrant standard after running it on both of these two devices, we have got a score of 5379 for this device for Moto E on quadrant, and this is how the detailed score look like, which includes the total score of 5379. CPU is 1 7006. You have memory which is 3200. Input output is 4017. 2D is 513. 3D is 2157. When we take a look over the score which we have got on Unite 2, the total score is 8628, and this is how the detailed score look like for the CPU. 31846, memory is 3034, input output operation is 5232, 2D is 606 and 3D is 2420. So in terms of the benchmark scores, if we compare both of them as of now on Quadrant, this one is definitely higher and better as compared to Moto E. So Unite 2 leads in terms of the Quadrant benchmark score. Let's take a look over the Intuitu score now. Now taking a look over the Intuitu score which we have got on these two devices, we have got a score of 12367 on Moto E and we have got a score of 16709 on Unite 2. So again, in this case, if we take a look over the ranking, we can easily see that the ranking is not very much different for these two devices. This is almost the same ranking which you will get for both of them, whereas this one is below Redmi device in terms of benchmark scores, the Moto E, where the Micromax Unite 2 or A106 is above that Redmi device. So again, in terms of day-to-day performance, that is something I can tell you is that the overall day-to-day performance of both of these phones is almost the same. You will get kind of a smooth UI, a smooth experience when it comes to doing day-to-day tasks like playing games, playing videos on these two devices. The overall performance of these two devices in day-to-day usage is almost the same. I can play some graphic intensive games as well on these two devices. In day-to-day usage, any kind of task you throw on any of these two phones, they can handle it pretty well without any problems or issues. Now taking a look over the Ninamax score which we have got on Moto E, it is 47.6 FPS, whereas we have got a score of 63.3 FPS on Micromax Unite 2. So again, in terms of the overall benchmark performance when it comes to gaming, the scores are kind of different, but the overall performance when it comes to playing graphic intensive games on any of these two phones, it is almost the same. You can play graphic intensive games on this device and also you can play them on this device as well, provided you have storage for the same. This device allows you to install applications on the SD card, so you can actually install applications on the SD card, but on the other hand, this device allows you to move applications from the phone memory to the SD card, which this one also do. But again, in terms of the storage department, this device is definitely better because you can actually play and install heavy graphic intensive games, but on this device the limited storage of this device allows you to install games up to 1.5 GB or 1.3 GB only on the internal storage. Even when you have complete storage available for those games, you can only install games up to that size. Any game which is above that size will not be able to install above that size, basically will not be able to install on the Moto E, which is kind of a drawback. But in terms of the overall graphic performance, both of them can run casual games like Temple Run, OZ, Subway Surfer. When it comes to medium graphic intensive game, we have tried playing the Frontline Commando D-Day. Blood and Glory is something which we have tried playing on both of them. So both of them can play good amount of graphic intensive game, but especially when it comes to Modern Combat 4, you can play that game on this device but not on this device, not because this cannot handle the graphic, but because of the storage problem the Moto E has as compared to Unite 2. Now when it comes to multi-touch points, this device supports 5-point multi-touch, as you can see, whereas the Micromax Unite 2 supports only 2-point multi-touch. So any game which involves more than 2-point multi-touch will not be running smoothly on this device. You won't be able to play that game on the Unite 2, but you can play that game on the Moto E. So in all, I would like to conclude this comparison as far as benchmarks are concerned. Benchmarks are just numbers, but again, when we talk about the day-to-day performance of any of these two phones, both of them are good enough to handle any kind of task you throw at them. And when it comes to gaming, you can play casual games like Temple Run, OZ, which we have installed on both of these devices, which run fine smoothly on both of them. We have also tried playing Frontline Commando D-Day, which we also have on both of these phones, so that one was also running pretty fine without any issues. And when we tried playing Blood and Glory on this one as well as on this one, that game also played fine. However, when it comes to graphic intensive game, both of them will show you slight amount of slight minimal amount of graphic lag and some amount of frame drops at times, but still you can play almost any kind of game on any of these two devices, provided you can install that game. If it is a big game, then you will face problem on this device, because this device has a limited storage on which you can actually install applications only on the phone storage, not on the SD card. Whereas on the Micromax Unite 2, you do have the option of installing applications on the SD card, which is supported. We are again going to test this feature with some heavy graphic games like Modern Combat 4, and we will give you our experience whether the game files are actually going to move to the SD card, or whether it can be installed directly on the SD card as an external storage device. So that we will tell you. That's all as of now. Let us know if you have any specific question for Moto E or for Micromax Unite 2. We would love to help you. You can like this video if this video helped you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.